Ladies and gentlemen, children of the interwebs out there, Sebastian Envy, the strong style nerd, strong style cinephile. Now we have a brand new episode of The Flash. Let us geek about that for a scant few minutes because a moment I've been waiting for may finally be at hand with the departure of Cisco from the building. It's probably just for a few episodes, some kind of hiatus, but he's gone. But we'll get to that and its awesomeness in a second. Now, the episode opens with the grand opening of CC Jitters, which is promptly held up by some dim-witted crooks wielding some serious sci-fi weaponry. Now, lucky for them, the Flash is there in, well, the Flash, to round them up. Now, later we see Barry return home to Iris with Diggle in tow, a Diggle that seems to be pre-Ring Discovery since he mentions moving to Metropolis in his near future. Not that it already happened. Diggle had a box for Barry that was left to him by Oliver in his last will and testament. In the box is his original mask that Barry made for him years upon years ago, with the idea of better keeping his friends and family safe while he was out in the hood, because, of course, before that, Oliver was just using grease paint over his eyes, which was just stupid to begin with, but, you know, it is what it is. Now, Barry finds some residue on it and thinks it's a secret message from Oliver and sets out with Diggle to solve the mystery as Iris leaves to check in with a source of her own. Now, in this episode, Iris has a reporter hat firmly locked in as she and her employees, which apparently now Team Central City Citizen is a thing, whatever. They check out a group that's trafficking and weaponizing metahumans because what else would you do with metas in a superpowered TV show, right? Now, the group is run by Joseph Carver, CEO of McCulloch Technologies. Now, after Iris ruffles his feathers, he sends a light-powered sniper to take her out. After a few near-death shenanigans and sage wisdom from Joe West, who always provides that because Jesse L. Martin is a fantastic actor and just has been a godsend and salt of the earth for this TV show, Iris slows down rather than rushing headlong into danger and uses her wits by threatening Carver with the release of information she has on him if her or any of her friends are killed by his light assassin, which forces him to call off his assassin, which is good because at the moment he calls her back, she was about to kill Killer Frost, or who apparently is just going as Frost now. It's this whole, like, switching out thing that they're doing with Caitlin and the Killer Frost character, which I find completely stupid, but that's a rant for another day. Meanwhile, on Lianyu, Barry is disheartened to learn that the mask is just that, a mask with a smudge on it from the last time Oliver was on Lianyu, when he was battling Deathstroke, or I guess when he returned before with Prometheus. But it isn't. It's nothing more than just the mask. Nothing from Oliver from beyond the grave. Now, Barry wants desperately for it to be more, but it just isn't. This gives Diggle time to pass on another bout of sage wisdom in the episode, the fact that life is a marathon, not a sprint, and that you have to slow down and enjoy what you have. Diggle says Oliver, unfortunately, did not find that out until it was far too late for him to really enjoy it, and we get that in the closing episodes of Arrow, because Oliver kind of talks about that and mentions that he didn't really get time to savor kind of what he had. Although he did enjoy the time with his kids that he got, and with the Monitor bringing the kids from the future, Oliver got to enjoy them, grown up. But it wasn't enough, and Oliver, just in hindsight, did not take the time he should have. Now, the rest of the team is still dealing with post-crisis business, which brings us to Cisco and Nash. Now, Cisco is all in a flutter because of all the multiple Earths are now on Earth Prime, and the fact that history has been rewritten to have them all have existed on Earth Prime from the beginning, which is interesting because there are no more doppelgangers, at least from what they know, because we know the multiverse has been restarted, just they don't know it yet. But apparently all their bad guys have been kind of rebooted in some cases, so which maybe, and again, this is something that we hope that the shows post-crisis would use crisis to tweak things on the shows, and apparently this might be one thing where we might be able to get the rogues this is a second chance to do the rogues, because everybody was just happy, just excited with the potential of the rogues to be on the TV show what they were in the comics, and how cool they were with Captain Cold and Heatwave. But of course, Captain Cold and Heatwave went the way of Legends, and every other rogue was pretty much just a one-off, a one or two-off villain. There was no cohesiveness to them. Nothing linked them together like in the comics. So hopefully this time around they're taking what they can do post-crisis to reboot the rogues and make them better. Remains to be seen how things go going forward, but there's potential for that. Now, Nash is still hanging around, and we see him and Cisco have a blow up where Cisco kind of points out that all the other trillions of people have died, and it's his fault. All the other Harrys and Wells out there, they're all gone, and they're stuck with the one who killed them all, basically, or facilitated them all getting killed. So that's kind of a hard pill to swallow. Though by the end of the episode, we see that Cisco, after talking to Caitlin, has decided to hit the road and kind of, I guess, chart the differences between the old reality and the new reality that they live in, to kind of figure out what the dangers are, what the dangers could possibly be, and how to mitigate those dangers. He's off the show, or at least, like I said in the beginning, for a few episodes, possibly. The thing that annoyed me about this, because we have the scene where he's all sad-faced because maybe if he had his powers, he could have seen the crisis coming, could have done more, this or that. And it's like, bro, you sat there hemmed and hawed about not having powers and how miserable you were with them for, half of a season about it. And then you got rid of them, and now you're pissing and moaning because you don't have them. That's stupid. I'm so tired of Cisco at this point. Like, his purpose is just, there is no purpose for him anymore on this show. I was hoping he was gone before the start of this season. But then he showed up again. So it's just, I'm totally fine with him being gone. It's just one of those things where this cast is woefully bloated, especially with bringing his girlfriend in a larger role that she's in, bringing Allegra into the fold. And of course, according to a photograph, Nash has some sort of connection to Allegra, and Allegra from his Earth, whether it's a daughter or maybe just a surrogate adopted daughter, whatever. We don't know the relationship yet, but that's why he's just so high on Allegra and wanting to, I'm guessing, eventually kind of be that surrogate father for her as the season plays out. Remains to be seen. But by the end of the episode, Cisco is like saying, hey, you're with the team now. And then he just dips out. So it's just, I don't know how they would process the fact that they're now stuck with the dude that caused all the problems in the first place. I wouldn't exactly want the guy around, but that's just me. Like I said, remains to be seen kind of what becomes of him and Allegra's relationship going forth. Like I said, maybe Cisco's just gone for a couple episodes. Hopefully it's multiple episodes that he is gone, and that he can finally just, by the end of this season, just be just done. Just totally gone and just out of the way. Just, I'm crossing my fingers and toes. I'm sacrificing small woodland creatures to every deity that I know to make this happen. We will see. I'm probably going to be disappointed, but I can hope, I can dream. And a closing point of the episode was a scene with Barry and Iris back at home, just kind of recounting their day and the life lessons that the day taught them. The fact that they do need to slow down. Both of them need to slow down. Barry does, and Iris, who was in a, oh my God, Barry's going to die soon mindset and living her life that way. They both realize that they're in a post-crisis world and that they need to act accordingly and just be a little bit different with the world, with each other. And they kind of made up. And this episode was good from that standpoint of imparting that lesson, because I think just life, we got a reminder of that. Not to get super like morbid or anything. Recently, with the passing of Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and those people on that ill-fated helicopter flight, that life is short, time is short. And as busy as our lives get, we just need to take time to savor just any downtime we have, or in some cases, we just need to make ourselves take some downtime, take some time off from work. Put down the phone, put down the gaming controller, push away the keyboard, and just take stock of what isn't around us, who isn't around us, be it loved ones, family, friends, whatever, and savor what we have, because there is no guarantee of how long it's going to be here. There's no sense in sprinting through it all and sprinting to the end of it all, if you can help it, which you can. You just have to want to do it and make yourself do it in some cases. And I think this episode was actually good on those levels to kind of point that out, because that's let's face it, what we all need to do. Now, in the cliffhanger ending scene, Iris uses a security card she got from her now dead source inside the company to get at McCullough Technology. She gets into a mothballed office that may have belonged to Carver's dead wife. Her investigation is halted rather abruptly when she is yanked into a mirror, and then it ends there. Now, Evan McCullough in the comics is the Mirror Master, so this may be what the writers are taking and tweaking by throwing us an Eve McCullough for TV and giving us the big bad for the latter part of the season. Be interesting to see where it goes. And that's about the scope of the episode. Like I said, maybe they're using a post-crisis world as a jumping off point to do some different things. We've got Black Hole, which is a comic book entity, baddie. We'll see how they can adapt it from the comics to the TV screen. Obviously, there are going to be some changes and tweaks and that sort of stuff. So it remains to be seen kind of what they do with it, with the changing in the medium. Hopefully they have some good ideas for it, give us some cool, fresh stories that don't involve the heroes being stupid to extend the time that the baddie is out there doing bad things. Hopefully, fingers crossed, toes crossed, everything else. Those are some of my thoughts about the episode, scattered as they often are. What do you guys out there think? Let me know in the comments below. Social media is flashing up on the screen. And of course, like I said in the other video, this week, CWF TV, if you're in Rockwall, Texas, come see me going places, kicking faces, doing what I do, doing it so well. In the meantime, let us geek.